Hello everyone and welcome to Movie Review UK. My name's MJ and today I'm going to be reviewing Ghost Stories. This is a new film based on a play. I didn't realise it was based on a play, and hell, I didn't even know I'd be watching it because I saw this as part of Odeon's Scream Unseen, which is a special event that they do every couple of weeks. Actually, it's usually Screen Unseen, so you pay £5, or in my case nothing as I'm on Limitless. Well, although I do pay for Limitless, so I pay a divided portion of that. If you look at the fact that I pay for it monthly, you could subdivide the £17.99 between the number of films that I saw that month. Perhaps this month I've seen 4 films, so maybe it was about £4.50, something like that. Who knows? Anyway, and you see a film that you don't know what it's going to be. Every so often they do a Scream Unseen, which is a horror variant, and this time it was Ghost Stories. Now, Ghost Stories is a film that I'd actually saw the trailer for. Generally speaking, I try to avoid trailers, but for this film I'd never heard of it. And to be honest, I didn't think it looked that good. When I start to watch trailers for films that I've not heard of or seen or am familiar with, I will usually start to watch a trailer, and then if there is a sort of any glimmer at all or sort of hint that I will see this film or that I'll want to see it, I will close my eyes and stop watching immediately. Now, that didn't happen with Ghost Stories. I thought the trailer just looked a bit weird. I think it emphasised the comedy a bit too much. And it looked like a sort of quirky British style film that I just didn't really want to see, despite having some amazing actors in fact Martin Freeman being one of my favourite actors. Now, I will say this straight away that I'm really pleased to say that actually this film completely blew my expectations out of the water. I was disappointed that it was Ghost Stories when it came up on the screen because I wanted it to be A Quiet Place, because I'm really eager to see A Quiet Place. I've seen just a sprinkling of the trailers. And all the actors involved, or I should say Emily Blunt and John Krasinski, not only are they actors that I really like, but I think I really want to see them as a couple in real life. I want to see what they're like together in a very interesting concepted film. And on top of that, I wanted it to be this because the Scream Unseen crowd is a really good crowd. They obviously love films because they're paying to see a film that they don't know what it is. So you know there's that passion for films behind it. And thus they're going to be respectful for the material. And in A Quiet Place, a film that is, I expect to be largely very quiet, you don't want people talking. And I think that might happen now. But back to the review for Ghost Stories. As I've said, it really blew my expectations out of the water. The actors, Martin Freeman is brilliant in this. Paul Whitehouse is tremendous in this, and it's a turn that you don't really expect from pretty much, I think I've only seen him in comedic roles. And Andy Nyman, I believe that's his name, let me just double check that. Yes, someone that I wasn't familiar with, he was really good as well. And then you've got some, I have to give a shout out to Alex Lawther. He's the guy from one of my favourite episodes of Black Mirror. Shut Up and Dance, is it? He has a skin crawling part in this film. At first I thought it was like a collection of sort of smaller anthology paranormal stories, ghost stories. But, and I had assumed they were all going to tie up at the end, but it does something slightly different towards that. Something slightly different with that towards the end of the film. And that's something that I actually didn't like quite as much. I think this is another horror film that suffers a little bit from a weaker ending. Now, people who've seen the stage show, perhaps that will sit a little bit more comfortably with them. Perhaps they've seen a little bit more of that and they sort of understand the background a little bit more. As a viewer who was unfamiliar with the story of the stage play, it took a little bit for me to actually understand the ending and all that kind of thing. Now, that being said, let's just draw back to the actual individual ghost stories themselves. I think they're all really good. The Paul Whitehouse one in particular was incredibly good at building tension. It was sort of quite a nerve-shredding 20 minutes or so. And incredibly well done. It's also really nicely shot. It doesn't have the typical sort of setting for a horror film. This is the UK, I think the north of England it darts around mainly. There's sort of some moorland in there, there's some sort of dingy, dull factories. It's not the usual kind of sort of Maine from the Stephen King films or the regions as seen in The Ring, that kind of thing. It doesn't have as much atmosphere in that way. It sort of pulls back the drama a little bit to reveal quite a better setting, but a setting that I'm more familiar with, and that actually I think came across really well in the way that it was shot. It was really beautifully shot in places, in fact. So yeah, whilst I wasn't so sure about the ending, wasn't too keen on it, and it took a little while for me to actually grasp everything that was going on, I think there's a lot of great elements in this, and there's a lot that really spoke to me, and it was just a lot better than I thought it was going to be. That being said, I didn't think it was mind-blowing, but considering I went in with extremely low expectations, I think that the film did really well to garner what I would consider to be a 7 out of 10. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I hope this video didn't give away too much and has intrigued you enough to go and see the film. I would definitely recommend it. And if your local town or cinema isn't full of dickheads, then I would definitely say go and see it at the cinema for, at the very least, all the tension that is built in the Paul Whitehouse scene or story alone. Thanks again for watching, and if you're new, subscribe for more. Cheers.